afternoon, good evening, good morning, folks. This is man all the way George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, it's the start of the weekend. I mean, time is flying. We're already a week into 2025. Hope everybody enjoying the holidays and this time. And you know what? I remember another thing that's better than Christmas is. It's about that time season. Well, I don't have a job anymore like I used to, but somebody do carry me on their taxes, and I do appreciate the little money I get. So, folks, recently I saw this young lady. She did an interview with a man, KL the Wanderer, on his channel. Check out KL. If you want to watch the interview, it's in the link of the description of the live stream. So she is an IFBB figure pro, and also she was at one point an OCB competitor. So we had to welcome the lovely Miss Kaylee Walker, and it's like I said, it's kind of was trying to get it roll off my tongue because I know of no Walker, the lovely Miss Brooke Walker. I would love to interview someday, but I can only dream. So thank you, Kaylee, for the time you've given us, and welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited too. So anyway, this is a question I often ask you ladies. What got you started in sport, as I call it, muscle and masculinity? Please share.
What got me into it? I would say, I've always been very into fitness. Like when I was growing up, I was doing like 3 sports, and I remember my favorite part was like the conditioning part, and we were doing like Sean T's Insanity like first thing in the morning. And so I've always been super into fitness, working out. And then I don't know, throughout college I started competing in CrossFit. During the pandemic, when all the CrossFit gyms closed down, I was like, you know what, I can bodybuild still without like a gym, with what I have at home. And then it kind of just like clicked, and I've never really looked back since the day I started focusing really on bodybuilding. It's been kind of like the one and only like tunnel vision. And it's been a kind of a thing that's been going on for years and continues to get more and more focused into it.
Yeah, I know quite a ladies who have athletic backgrounds, multiple sports. I mean, I played football, did a little baseball when I was younger. I used to love to lift weights when I was in high school. I was like one of the strongest guys on my football team. That you get in the gym, you just love just pushing the weights and just lifting them, just feel good and building that muscle. And then I got into the real world and got a job, and this happened. So what was the sports you were playing? You did, when you were younger?
So I did field hockey, cheerleading, and lacrosse.
Mm-hmm. Field hockey and lacrosse are kind of rough. They're kind of almost about like field hockey and lacrosse, but they're different in ways, right?
Yeah, so field hockey and lacrosse are pretty similar. I guess one's just on the ground and one's in the air. I would say field hockey was like my main sport. I coached field hockey for a little bit too. But yeah, pretty similar. And then all of the sports, like to play any sport, you have to be in shape. And I think that is something in high school they're kind of pushing more, is like getting into the gym and doing more of like the weight aspect of it, not just the conditioning on the field and running. So that definitely is what kind of led me into like learning about the gym and loving bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's the good thing, especially when you're young. I interviewed a lady a while back. Her name is Jamie. She's a teacher, but also she loves using kettlebells for workouts, and she even teaches her students how to use them. I mean, she's an amazing lady. I mean, you should check her out. I mean, just how these kids just love to lift and carry stuff. Children are very impressible. If you can really find something they like, they will like it. Here we got here. Shout out to my man KL the Wanderer. He's here. He says, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, brother?" Also, we have here my man Warrior 2000. Shout out to Warrior. Hey, says hi, Kaylee. All right, hi there, brother. Also, my man Balls Deep. He says, "Good afternoon, gorgeous." You gotta be careful of Balls Deep. His moniker is here. It says Chicago in here. Thank you, brother. He says, "Smash the like button." I appreciate that. Also, he says, "Peace and blessings, beautiful." He's a fan. And this is for our man KL. He says this. He says, no, it's from my Warrior. He says, "Look very nice today." Oh, wow. Yeah. I tell you, Kaylee, when I get a new girl in here, these guys be like, "Oh, George got a new girl in here. She's fine as a motherfucker." He's excited. So before you were doing CrossFit, then what make you get into competitive bodybuilding? I know, say, you're dealing with the pandemic.
Yeah, so I would say when I first started lifting in high school, I used to watch like a bunch of bikini competitors on YouTube and was always like, oh, that would be so cool to do someday. But never really thought that I was going to do it. Um, and so then, like I said, I'm really competitive. I love every aspect of like fitness in the gym. So I thought CrossFit was a good like thing for college because it was like the similar aspect of like the sports where you're like training a lot. And I did like team, so I would compete like a male female like partner. So it was like similar because I was working together with someone. But I'd say during the pandemic, so all the CrossFit gyms were closed, and I had like a little bit of equipment at my house, like some kettlebells, dumbbells, bands, and I would sometimes go to like a school playground and would do like pull-ups and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I can do like bodybuilding during the pandemic when all the gyms are closed with the stuff that I have. And it was just something that like the more and more I started like doing it on my own, and I was like getting sucked back into YouTube videos of like watching people do like home workouts and stuff. I was like, I really think this is more of what I'm more passionate about this than like the competition CrossFit realm. And shortly after the pandemic is when I hired my first bodybuilding coach and did the OCB show.
Now, what were the experiences like when you first started competing, and who was your coach at the time when you were competing?
So my first coach, her name is Jess. She's out of Texas. She was a competitor that I had followed on Instagram for years, and I kind of just like hired her off the bat based on I liked her like message, and I was her first like bodybuilding competitor. So it was definitely an interesting experience, like working together on that. I think she's a great coach. Now I work with Andrew Barry, which I love. He's an awesome competition coach. He is very, very good at working with like females. So it was definitely like I didn't really know what to expect going into it because I had no friends that were in bodybuilding. I didn't really know any bodybuilders other than like what I saw on YouTube. So I really didn't know what to expect from my first coach and my first show. What I can say though is that like I loved it, and the feeling of like working so hard towards like getting on stage is just like no other, and it's definitely like the most discipline and motivation I've ever had in my life. So it's just, the drive to continue to keep doing it is getting higher and higher.
Yeah, because when you get into sport, you have to understand the aspects of it, from the training to the dieting, and also you compete in OCB, which is a natural organization where
what I used to.
Yeah, and that is a different style compared to NPC and IFBB. Most of the competitors are either enhanced, but they are trying to get more into the natural style of it. And you're, like I said, when you decided to switch from OCB to NPC?
So my first season, my first show was in the beginning of September, which was OCB. And then I told my coach, I was like, we prepped for this show. It was the main event in Biddeford, Maine. And when I got off stage, I was like, oh my gosh, Jess, like this was the best thing ever. I loved all of it. I would love to keep going. So then in October, Alpha Elite has the competition Summer Shredding. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's not sanctioned with OCB or NPC. It's kind of a one-off show. So I went out to Houston, Texas for that. And after doing that show and seeing my coach in person, she kind of was like, I think that you should take a stab at the NPC. I think you would really like it. So I did one more month in November. I did the Long Island Championship. So I did it all in one season. I went from OCB to NPC in one season. It just was over a 3-month like time span.
Yeah, it's a process switching from one organization to other. I think we see a lot more competitors coming from the OCB because there's an opportunity. Because anybody can tell you the NPC is where it's at, where you really want to go to the top level bodybuilding, because it started all IFBB and NPC, and also the biggest show of all in the bodybuilding is the Olympia. I mean, that is, I watched it last year. It was a great show. What's your thoughts on it, especially in your division now that Sid Gillen's retired, and you heard that Missy Truscott is moving over.
Yeah, I'm super excited for this year's Olympia and just this year's like IFBB figure season. Obviously Sid is the queen of figure, and I love Sid. I think she is such an amazing person. I love listening to Sid talk. I just think she's so inspirational and just so positive, and she is an awesome just like face for figure in female bodybuilding in general. But I love Missy. Missy's been my favorite bodybuilder ever for a female division, like since I started. I just also think that she's really positive and just a really good like role model for people getting into the sport. So I think that's awesome for the figure division. I think she's gonna crush it. Her shape is insane. Like I think she's gonna be in the top of the Olympia this year. I hopefully my goal obviously this year is to qualify, but we'll see. I'm just happy to be competing this year and happy to be feeling more confident about competing this year. But I can't wait to see what happens at the Olympia. And I think it's going to be awesome for figure that Missy moved over.
So you are competing this year. You have picked a show yet, or you still, you and your coach are thinking about what you want to do?
So I'm currently in prep right now. I kind of picked out like my favorite way, I guess, to do it. I like doing this for clients and I like doing this for myself now, is to kind of pick like, okay, I'm going to aim for like this month to compete because and kind of take a look at like the shows. So I'm going to compete this spring, and because it's the beginning of the season, there's so many shows, like almost every single weekend there's a possibility to compete. And I'll probably wait until I'm like maybe like a month out to commit to a show. So I'm looking at like the April-May range of show dates, but nothing signed, nothing set in stone. But I have like a rough idea of like where I want to compete and hopefully doing a couple different shows in that time frame.
Well, like I say, if we shoot for April, the biggest show, I think the first show, especially for figure, is the Triple O Dynasty.
That's
Sid,
the goal.
yeah, and y'all gonna get a big chunk of change. That's $9,000. And just also, I heard that the Pittsburgh Pro, they're putting a big chunk of change. Except for they don't have women's bodybuilding Pittsburgh Pro. I'm not a fan of the Manions and their stuff. I mean, I'm just me. I've been doing this for a long time, longer than been a fan of bodybuilding longer before you were born. And I've been a fan of women's bodybuilding. I've really started getting to other divisions a little more because I'm expanding myself in the content. But truthfully, I respect what y'all ladies do, the work you put in, the commitment to this. And I mean, Sid and both Missy are just amazing women. They're just top level competitors. Missy, being a 3-time fitness champion and coming back after the injury she had the year before last. And then Sid, what she did, she's in the 8 club. Some said she could have pushed and maybe got as high as Iris Kyle, hit number 10, but I think she really wants to sit back. But one person I'm a fan of, you guys, I'm a fan of hers. I can't help but bring her up, and that is the Miss Beautiful Andrea Shaw.
She's amazing. Yeah,
she is so amazing. I mean, she really has brought a certain level, especially for women's bodybuilding, and really great look, muscle, femininity. I mean, I'm a fan of hers. I mean, I'm a fan of all the ladies, but most definitely I'm a fan of hers, and I think it's amazing women. Like, as you talked about earlier, also I put this out, like Missy could possibly maybe move up the figure, because you see right here, she's not too far from Sarah Vilgas. Yeah, but like I said, sometimes it's always the issue with that frame and all like that. So we have some comments here, and this is from my man. Shout out to my man. Sorry, my man Balls Deep. He says, Schmo gang. Yeah, I know that. Also, he says this. He says, she's sexy and swole as AF. Okay. And also, this is from my man KL. He says, Kaylee, did anyone ever told you that you look like a little Scarlett Johansson? Maybe that's just me. So you ever have somebody say you look like someone, like
No, like literally never. I just feel like I never get like, I feel in college people used to tell me I look like Billie Eilish, but I don't see that at all. I think it was just because I had like really blonde hair then. But No, I've never really gotten that or really any celebrity look-alike.
Yeah. You kind of had that little bit of a scar, a little bit of Billy, something like that. Just
Yeah, I don't really see either. That was just like when someone said that, actually a couple people said it to me. I think it's also because in college for a little bit I had like some colored hair, and Billy always has some like funky hair going on, and like so yeah.
Yeah, and Billy's pretty young. She's been around for quite some time. Here we got here from our man. Shout out to my man. Balls. He says, "What do she want to gain from female bodybuilding?" So, as a competitor, what would you want out of the sport for yourself?
I just love bodybuilding, and I love like challenging myself. Bodybuilding is definitely like the hardest thing that I've ever done. So I just like to see what the next level I can push to. Um, I don't know. I guess just continue. Like I just look for like discipline in myself through bodybuilding. And I obviously like want to do well in the sport. So I'm looking to hopefully get a top 3 like pro win someday. And yeah, just to continue to build my discipline. I would love for this season to hopefully bring me more like girls, even if they're just coming to me for like questions on bodybuilding. I'd love to coach more like women in bodybuilding. Hopefully be like an influence on other people, especially in like I'm from Maine and bodybuilding is really small. So it'd be really cool to influence more people that maybe are on the fence and thinking about it in Maine or the New England community to step on stage at some point. Even if it is just like a bucket list thing, I just think it'd be cool to inspire more women to try it.
Well, like the main
Kind
part
of all
of
over the place with that answer, but
that's all right. That's all right. That's good. You really expressing what you're feeling. Just appreciate
yeah.
that. But yeah, Maine, that's a very small state. I know it's part of the New England area. Like Massachusetts, Vermont. Pennsylvania. I know a couple ladies who live in around about Massachusetts. Robin Mays interviewed her. Jody Lyons, she's from Boston. A lady I interviewed from Rhode Island. That's Angela Nori. I mean, it's a growing community. It's just all have to get together and form something. So
yeah, I would say Massachusetts, there's definitely a lot more, especially females. Maine and New Hampshire, I feel like are Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. I feel like there's some, but there's not a lot. Like, so it'd just be cool to inspire more people to try it and to like push themselves. And because I know there's a lot of people, I work at a supplement store. And so I know a lot of people are interested. They tell me all the time how they're interested. So it'd be cool to actually like see them do it and like take that next step. And like, especially with the new fit model division, I think that would be a great like entry level for a lot of people to like try it and like do the thing that they've been thinking about doing. So,
well, here's the thing. My feelings on the fit model division. Excuse me. I'm not a fan of it. I understand it's a great division to start out, especially for competitors, and it's always a way to make marketability and get more mainstream. But I feel like this bodybuilding is about the evolution of athletes, and we bring in another division that's just going to really much, in my opinion, clog up the system a little bit, where you could have just fixed the problems you had now in the other division. Even though if the bikini girls are getting to look like more like figure girls, then tell them to pull back a little bit. If the figure girls looking more like the physique competitors, tell them to pull back a little bit. It's so easy to solve a problem, but you know what? It's just try to slap some on top of it. But everybody is excited about it. I'm not. So yeah,
I think it's a good place for people to like if it's something that they've kind of thought about doing and they want to like go for it and try it. And I don't know. I think it's a good like entry level for the NPC. Like I think it's a good, especially when they're trying to push more like natural competitors as well. I think it's a good entry level step for competitors. I don't know how I feel about the IFBB and the Olympia version of it, but definitely for NPC, I think it's awesome. But
remember, I was talking with a lady who was a friend of ours. She went to university. A friend of hers was competing there. They said like 600 bikini girls. Whew, you gotta imagine how many you do this new division. It's gonna, might take some shows longer. You might have to do a whole Because usually I
Yeah,
think
today.
you might put an extra day just for that division. You figure out bikini alone, or cut down the numbers, or just keep it as like a thing for the NPC, and then eventually you evolve. You go to like bikini or other division you feel like you fit in. It's all this. We have here. This is from my man Warrior. He says this. He says, "I think Missy's going to definitely bring it. She's has the same muscularity as Lola Montez and Jessica Ray Padilla. I think when people said that, I think her shoulders just are a little bit more fuller compared to the other two. But if she can bring her legs better, that's the big difference. That's the thing.
Her upper body, like spot on. Her legs, but I think because one, she's progressing so much with her injury, and two, she I don't know how, like, if she has to requalify. I don't know the logistics on that, but I think that if she gives herself like a decent off season, and she's going to be training completely different, like she doesn't have to train for her routine anymore, so she can really like focus on building her legs up this season. I I think that she's going to I think it's gonna be a really good Olympia. Like I think it's gonna be really good to see like Jessica, Lola, and Missy all together. Because I do think that she's gonna have quite a bit of time and like the ability to focus specifically on like growing her legs in this off season. Like I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, I think she most definitely I watched that YouTube her husband did because I follow her on YouTube. And
Hmm.
yeah, I think she's really thinking about maybe try to do at least 2 or 3 shows. Get to first show, see how it does, and maybe it's the one get a qualification. And she does another show, and then another just see how she compares to some of the other women, like Jessica, or she does multiple shows, and Lola she should do a couple here and there, and so many others like Cherish
Yeah,
Richardson. That's a good example, or
yeah,
Rhea
cheers.
Gale. Yeah, there's those are top 5 competitors right there that could
Hmm.
give her a run for her money.
Yeah, to
Uh,
do any like if she did like the Texas Pro or something. I'm just I didn't she never said this, but like if she did the Texas Pro, like Jessica has done the Texas Pro for years, so that'd be like a place for her to like get on stage next to Jessica and see how she stacks up. But
Yeah, and you made your debut both at Texas and Tampa. That was 2023. What was that feeling like when you get to think about it? You're on the stage with some of these top competitors, especially I think Jessica was competing that year.
Jessica was at the Texas Pro. So at the Tampa Pro, I went into the show knowing that I was not lean enough. I knew that I wasn't going to make like first calls or anything. It was kind of just like I went on. I feel like it was kind of just like I don't know, just to kind of get the. I was really nervous for my pro debut, so it was a really fun experience. Like everyone backstage was so awesome. Like all the women doing it were just like so like I've never experienced that before. I feel like usually backstage of shows, people are like, "Oh my god!" Like it's so like catty and like I'm gonna win, and like whatever. This everyone was like hyping each other up. It was just such an awesome experience. I was super nervous. I tripped when I like walked out on stage. Like so, I knew Tampa was gonna be like a we're doing it to get on stage kind of situation, and it was still a blast. I'm still really happy I did it because I think I got 15th and there was like 20 something people, so definitely not my best. But it was really cool because a lot of the people, not a lot, but a few of the people that were at Tampa were in Texas, and Lena, she's the blonde one. I think she's German. I remember
Oh,
like
Lena
pointing.
Rumsteiner.
Yep, I pointed her out to my coach and was like, "She is amazing. I want to look like her." So then when I went to Texas, she was there, and she placed 5th and I got 6th. So it was just cool to see someone that was like in the top at Tampa and then be able to like move up from 15th to 6th place and next to the girl that I said that I wanted to look like or like be as like Lena is, and kind of I don't know. So I thought she always looks amazing. Obviously she had an amazing 2024 season. Um, but that was just really cool to kind of like pick someone out specifically and then be next to them at the next show. So, and I definitely, between Tampa and Texas, completely different package. I was so much leaner for Texas. It was not even comparable. So,
Yeah, I think it was like maybe about a couple weeks apart between those 2 shows. So maybe you just need to get a little drier and get that more of that pop. You want to get that roundness and fullness in your shoulders. The
yeah.
details you want more. And Lena, if you've seen her recently, there might be a rumor that she might be switching divisions. I'm not certain because I did see some videos I posted on my IG. You can check it out where she's doing physique poses. And last year Paul Ranta was another who switched, and Paul did like I think 6-7 shows, and and Lena just did about as many. But I think she's already qualified. Yeah, I think she's already qualified because she didn't get a qualification at the Romanian Muscle Fest, but I think she got the show after that. Folks, we're gonna do while we have Kaylee here. We're gonna go on her social media for a bit. You want to follow her? Her links in the description of this live stream. Want to check her out? Support these ladies. She's a nice young lady. She took time to talk with me. She also talked with my man KL. If you want to know the video, that interview is also in the live stream of this description. But guys and Kaylee, I do this as a disclaimer out there because there's guys out there, and we know who you are. You're schmoes. You love these buff ladies. They get your sight. No pics. Stop it. Get some help. I mean, don't do that. No one likes that. So we're going to jump in here on social media for a bit here. And here she is. And you turned pro 2022 at the Nationals. What was that experience like for you?
It was amazing. I did one NPC show, qualified for Nationals, and I had no expectations going into it. I honestly had a blast during that prep. It was honestly probably the best prep I've ever had. So getting on stage, and I don't know, it was just such an incredible experience and an incredible feeling, being on national stage and knowing that basically when I got up from prejudging, my coach was like, welcome to the pro league. You definitely did so well in your division. So yeah, that was awesome. And that was Tampa. I
interviewed a lady also. Yeah, I interviewed recently a lady who got her pro card also at Nationals. That is Michelle Moon, and she won the overall and she or the pro card with physique. And it's like I said, it's that feeling when you put the time you put in, the work you put in, and you get rewarded with it. Now when you're working out, what's that favorite workout that you love the most? The one you just say, do it.
What is my favorite workout?
Yes.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Okay, here's this. I love training calves. Let's just say we're gonna do some calf raises, or I love probably just shoulder press. I love overhead pressing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that means you like leg day.
You like what?
Pretty much it. You like leg day. That's pretty much working your calves. It's pretty much like working leg day.
Yeah, I don't know. I love all, there's not a session that I don't like, and I like basically all movements. I'd say the only movement that I dislike, but I still do it all the time, is Bulgarian split squats. Those kill me. They kill everyone. But I don't know. There's not really a day that I dislike. I would say my favorite used to be anything chest related, but for figure, I don't really need to train chest, so I don't really train it that much anymore.
Yeah. Well, I remember I interviewed the lady. She is a Bulgarian bodybuilder. She got a pro card that same year as you did in 2022. She got it at the Romanian Muscle Fest, and
Mm-hmm.
she said she loves Bulgarian split squats, and she told me that she was telling me how her and it was Yisha, I forget her name is. They're both doing Bulgarian split squats, the Bulgarian and the Brazilian. So this is one of your clients because you're also a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how long have you been coaching?
Not too long. I've been coaching for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy doing your coaching? Because like I said, you inspire other competitors, and helping them, and also people who might have, just do it for health reasons.
Oh yeah, I love coaching. I really enjoy lifestyle clients as well that are looking for just more of learning some healthy habits and learning how I enjoy lifestyle, so I can teach people macros and how to track macros. And then it becomes kind of sustainable for a long period of time. Maybe they don't have to weigh everything out for the rest of their life, but to kind of learn portion sizes. And it's really in just different tricks and tips along the way. So it's definitely really rewarding to do lifestyle clients as well, or like weight loss clients.
Yeah. I see you did some photo sessions with Sean Nelson. I had the pleasure of interviewing Sean on my channel. Pretty cool guy. You know, he really knows his stuff.
Yes, I'm hoping to do another session with Sean. I just messaged him because I'm going to the Arnold this year just to like watch, and I was hoping that he would be there, but I don't think he's going to be. But hopefully maybe I'll try to find a different photographer because I'll be hopefully like a month out at that point. But yeah.
Well, you know what? I know a guy. His name is Glenn Young Sr. He runs his own magazine called Amazon Fitness. He's planning on going to the Arnold, to hook up with photo sessions. I'll send you the information that he posted. I got it on my other computer. I'll send it to you, and also check out his site because he's planning on going there in March. Because the Arnold does not have women's bodybuilding, physique, or figure.
It's so sad. It makes me. I wish they would bring it back, but I don't know.
Go ahead. You say?
Oh no, I mean, I see like people's arguments with like there's equal men's and women's divisions, like the amount of divisions, because there's just more. I don't know. I just wish they'd bring it back. That's all. I'm a little salty about it.
Here's the thing is, I'm being a fan, especially of women's bodybuilding. When he kicked out women's bodybuilding, that was like almost 12 years ago when he kicked it out of Arnold, and then I wasn't too much a fan of physique, but I started to grow to it, and figure a bit by bit. But you can't use the excuse that there's no money. We can raise up the prizes for men's bodybuilding to up to $500,000, where you can use that to maybe add prize money for women's bodybuilding physique and figure. And this is why I'm not, I'm a fan of what she's doing. Not a big fan of her as a competitor, but I'm a big fan of what she's doing. Sarah, what she did, step up and put the prize money for the Texas Pro and have a place for a division because even women's physique, the show is getting knocked out. I mean, they are not going to be a triple O this year. A lady who interviewed who was the last champion for the St. Louis, and also another lady who is also the lady who was the last champion for the Legions Festival. It's just, I know it's getting tough because people don't like how the women are developing. But here's again, I say this again, it's the evolution of the athlete. And it's up to the judges and the officials to, if they feel like the women are getting too far ahead, then calm down a little bit. But
they need to stop awarding. They need to stop awarding the biggest girl if that's the case. If they think that it needs to like tone down, then they need to start awarding the person that does that. It's like the answer.
Yeah, because I remember years ago they did women's bodybuilding. They put in a 20% rule where you're supposed to come 20% left muscle. But then Iris came along, and she's following that. But then she did lose 1 year when she lost to Alexander King. But then she came back and won her next 9 after that. And then it's just, but it's all about. I don't know. They want to blame the athletes, not really put them on themselves because you're the one who set the rules. Here we got a comment from my man Warrior says Missy Truscott said on Olympia TV that she's not going to do women's physique. She will stick to figure. Yeah, okay.
That's what I kind of figured that she would do figure because I feel like Matt's been talking. I follow her YouTube too, and I feel like Matt's been saying figure is a good spot for Missy for a while. So I think it's a good fit for her. Also, I think Missy only weighs I feel like she said it on her YouTube videos, and I don't think she looks I feel like bigger on social media than she actually is. And she even said that I'm not huge, guys. You guys think I'm massive, but she is muscular and big, but I don't think she's women's physique, women's bodybuilding big by any means.
Yeah, that's the thing with people from the outside, like myself. I'm an outsider. I'm a foreign sport. We look and we see, we take our naked eye. We see, okay, she's developed muscle like this. I've seen some women in figure that look like they should be physique. I've seen some women in physique look like we figure. But it's about when you get that process, once you lean out and you drop a lot of the extra size and you get out your bulk and season, you come shredded. And it's no offense to Kaylee, because there's a small saying, when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. But that's a different situation. But it's a lot of work to this. And the thing about bodybuilding is it's not a sport for everybody. And everybody has to find the things that fit for you. Like you like doing figure. I know some parents like doing physique. Some parents like doing women's bodybuilding. It's the process of how you grow and develop. And it's good that you have a good relationship with your coach, and he knows. Especially, it's great. Especially that we need more coaches to understand how women are different from men. I've talked to ladies who told me that sometimes they get a coach that give them same cookie cutter plan as you give a man, but y'all are different. Your biology is different. Your bodies are different. Men, we can. It'll take us long for us to build muscle compared to women because our process we are built to battle, breed, die, and that's it. Women with muscle, something's just for society is kind of in their mindset is a fence to see, like they make comments like right now here, this is an attractive young lady. I'm out, I ain't gonna lie to you, she's an attractive young lady. But I know it's people making comments like she got too much muscles. She's trying to be a man. But you are an athlete and you work to get this point. And if you don't understand that, that's their problem.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I agree with that. Sorry, I'm just listening. Yeah, no, I totally agree with everything you just said.
Yeah. I know I talk a bit because that's why I like to have good conversation back and forth. Oh yeah, here, my man, KL, he said this. He says, "I know it's cold as brick in Maine right now. So how's the weather in Maine?"
It's freezing. It's that we haven't gotten too much snow yet this season, but it's really cold. Like I feel like so my last prep was in over the summer. And it's so much easier to motivate yourself to go to the gym for fasted cardio in the morning when it's warm out. When it is in like the single digits and freezing and windy, it is so hard to get out of bed in the morning to go do cardio. It's like, oh, I don't want to go out there. So yeah, like it's I might have to invest in getting like an elliptical at my house or something.
I can feel you because today I had to go do my laundry because we're here in North Carolina. Let's talk about freezing rain, so like that. So I gotta do laundry today, pick up a few stuff, because if I get stuck in the house, I don't want to have be wearing the same dirty clothes 2 times a day. So it's tough, especially here in North Carolina. Even when we get like a drop of snow, just a half an inch, everybody goes crazy. As my other guy like to say, sometimes like if you go upstate, it could be like feet of snow and no one blinks an eye. But if you come down south, it's half an inch. Everybody goes crazy. So, because we can't handle it. We're not used to it. But, some of this. Shout out to my man here, Lawrence Perkins coming through. Shout out to Lawrence. Thank you, brother. He says, good afternoon, Kaylee, George, everyone in the chat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Also, my man, Russ G Photography. He's another good guy who also does photography. He says, good afternoon, all. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Also, this is from man KL. He says this. He says, keep time on computers like this together. So, also, who knows the fitness model may not be bad thing, but who knows? I'm on the fence on it. I'm on the fence on it. It's like anything.
It'll be interesting. We'll see how it goes in 2025, and then we can circle back to it. Like it could be a good thing, and we'll find out. So
yeah. So, as a competitor, on the stage, you're training, you're working out. What do you feel that really inspires you to do this sport, to compete, to train, to get on a stage? Especially again, with bodybuilding, especially on the women's side, it's more of a cost, the expense, going to the shows, paying your coach. You ladies have to be more presentable, like your hair, your makeup, your posing suits, the tanning. The guys, all you gotta do is wear a pair of banana hammocks and board shorts. While you ladies have to be more presentable and also try to keep that level of femininity even with having muscle.
I don't know. I've always been someone that's like pretty feminine in the fact, like I've always loved like wearing makeup, and I love having like long hair, and I like I used to wear eyelash extensions. So I like the femininity part of it. That's something that I would do regardless. But I don't know. I just think truly, I've mentioned it a couple times, but like the discipline of it, like there's nothing like bodybuilding and the discipline that you have to do it. Like it's motivation and discipline, but like mostly discipline. So I like that it forces me to be super disciplined, and I find that also transfers over to multiple aspects of my life. So I just find that like, especially when I'm in season, I find that my life becomes more like organized, and I'm so on track with every aspect of my life. And I feel like I'm just a better person all around. And I don't know, there's so many like different, like Missy and Matt have talked about the correlations between like being disciplined with fitness and being disciplined with your finances and with just so many different aspects of life. So I think that forces me to keep going. And like, because of all the expenses, like it forces me to be like really good with like spending, and then like pushing myself to like do more, I guess, with like coaching and building my business and building myself up. So I don't know, I just think every aspect of bodybuilding inspires me to just be like a better person and to push myself further.
That's good because you need that because this is a tough sport, especially for women. It's tough physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. And you have to have that mindset that you're determined and persistent and disciplined to stick
Mhm.
with it because it's so easy to get distracted. You know, you never know when one day you might have like I said, it's cold and you don't want to go to the gym. You know, you're praying about getting an elliptical in your house. You know, that's a good thing. But then sometimes you want to get out there and be among the people and work out and you train with your people. It's like when I was in high school, I used to love when we used to be in the weight room and the guys came, lock it out, lock it out, lock it out. We just love that camaraderie we have it. It's hard to do. Like, you know, when I started losing weight, because at one point I was like 500 pounds because I was taking care of my mom for a long time, and then she passed away. And then I take care of myself, and I started doing workouts at home, and and it was a process for me. You know, just trying to get up and do the things, and especially I'm getting older. You know, I'm an old man now. You know, just turned 50 a while back, and it's tough. I know it's a lot harder for y'all compared to just everyday person.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, it's everyone's different, and like finding what works best for them. I don't necessarily think it's harder for one person over another. But yeah, I think that it's individual to every person, and fitness is so like there's just so many aspects of it and so many like reasons to do it and so many different ways to do it. There's no like right answer, not harder for one person or the other. Like I don't know, some people don't want like bodybuilding is not of interest to every person that's into fitness. So just like I don't know, powerlifting isn't of interest to me, or Olympic lifting. Like it's all different, and all there's just so many ways to do it. And um I don't think there's a way to really compare. But maybe that's just I don't know me.
Well, it's just about finding something that fits for you as you. Every individual, like I said, is different. Everybody has different uh
Like
prospects we get to this, and
different
also
goals,
emotional wise.
different reasons, different wants, different needs. Like it's all different. Like just because I want to step on stage in a bikini and be shredded doesn't mean that the person next to me wants to do that. That's probably like the least thing. Like they're not interested in that at all. Like they're interested in just like being healthy, and maybe they want to hit like a running PR, or I don't know. Like there this is so everyone is so different. Like their reasons are all different. So
Well, I know guys out here who watch my channel, follow my content. They love me on stage shredded. They get excited, you know. They just enjoy that. So we got a
I'm
comment.
excited. I'm so excited to be lean. Like I think if I end up doing so, the Triple O Dynasty is definitely like the goal of this season. So that would put me at like what 12 weeks out right now, something like that. 12 weeks one day. So soon,
Yeah.
be shredded soon.
It's a process. Here we have a comment from a man, KL. He says this bikini be putting you to sleep, but the women are in the good shape. That's the positive thing I could say. Also, my man Warrior says this, shout out to Warrior. He says, you look more like Leanne Rhymes, Kaylee, not Scarlett Johansson. Thank you. I appreciate that. Also, it's just my man KS says, nice pictures. Your boyfriend definitely has to at least attend your shows, not just watching it live stream. So this is one thing is, do you have boyfriend, family members that support you in this sport? Because, you know, it's tough because you're doing something that's not very typical. You know, bodybuilding is still it's an extreme sport and it's kind of an outsider sport.
It's definitely an outsider sport, and it's definitely a lot of people don't understand it or don't care to understand it. I mean, I do have support in some aspects, in some other aspects. I just I think it's just that there's like a lack of understanding. I would say like my mom went to nationals last year. I had one of my friends went to Tampa Pro, but no one really came to my competitions. But they try to ask me questions and try to learn more about it. So yeah, mostly live stream watching, but it's okay.
Yeah, I know, especially parents, you're thinking you don't want your daughter to get something like this. Especially, I don't know, maybe me be old fashioned say, I don't want my girl to look like my son, because that's the fear about everybody with getting a bodybuilding. You just lift a few weights and you're gonna be looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jay Cutler. No. If you don't follow a diet, you don't work consistency. You can't, and always the excuse is always it's about steroids. Steroids is almost in everything, every sport. But it's so easy to pick on bodybuilder because it's a way to grow muscle. But you did OCB, that's a different look. I know I interviewed somebody who did OCB, and it's natural competitors. It takes a lot longer to build muscle naturally compared to if you take performance enhancers. And it's only that small percentage of how you grow and develop. Everything is follow your diet, being consistent, and also sticking to routine and being disciplined.
Routine is the biggest thing, I would say. Like, yeah, doing the same thing day in, day out makes a big difference.
I know some people get tired of it, but like, do you get tired? But you know what? If you like something and you love the progress you're creating, you never get tired of it. Here we have here from my man, shout out to my man, Warrior says, you got some serious biceps, Kaylee. You may give Jessica, Lola, and Missy a run for their money. Appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Also, this is from a man, Balls. He says, good luck. And he says, have a great day, beautiful. Thank you, brother. And also, this is from my man, KL. He says, it's a mindset. If you're going to feel old, you're going to be old. Yeah, I am old. I'm like I said, I'm telling you right now, I have two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I got a bad shoulder here, a tear here. I got a pacemaker. I've done work since I was 10 years old. Man, my body's done. But you know what? My man Rocky Balboa tells me, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's how hard you take the hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
I agree.
I told you I was crazy. So, like one thing I often ask you ladies, especially your last show was the Texas, and I know it's something, especially being a family. What was that thing that she desired, Katie? That thing that, as my other guy was saying, even though it makes you stranger, it makes you stronger. What's your, especially on prep, and you get your cheat meal, or you do your refeed? What's that favorite thing you like? That thing that's like,
Oh gosh, I have so many people have been asking me, like, because I have like started prep and I've been on track for like to the T on the plan for like 22 weeks now with like very minimal cheat meals. So I kind of gave myself a little bit of a break for that. Like I was still training, but I gave myself like kind of a nutrition break. But honestly, I'm not really craving anything. When I was in Texas, when I got off stage, I remember being like the second I got off stage, I was like, Andrew, which is my coach, I'm like, we're gonna go get barbecue right now. But then we were in Texas so I think that was kind of what pushed that. I don't know. I feel like after shows, like something just like a burger or something like that, like something really fatty meat with bread. I don't know. That's basically what I would probably say. Or like now, like one of my friends literally just asked me that this morning, and I was like, I'm not really craving anything right now, but I guess if I had to pick something, I live in Portland, Maine. We have like a really good like cheese steak restaurant, and I'm like, that sounds good. I don't know, something fatty, but yeah.
Yeah, because that thing about food is part of the process of growing. And, you just can't eat any kind of foods. You have to eat the foods that are, maybe low in carbs, high in protein. And it's good to have that opportunity to eat something with a little salt and sugar in it. One day I had made myself a chili cheeseburger, but instead of using, beef, I use, ground chicken, and I took, made the chicken, made the chili. I didn't use regular bread. I used whole wheat. But like I said, it still tastes just as good. And the cheese was like, it's just basic, Swiss cheddar, Swiss mix, something like that. It was great. But yeah, I know it's tough when, especially when you go to events like just had Christmas this past and Thanksgiving, you be around family and you bring your Tupperware and you say, you could, you just no, because you're prepping and you're determined. You don't want to be sidetracked while you're, on your goal to prep and compete for this year.
No, yeah, it definitely was a little bit difficult. I am luckily because I was like I was far enough out. I did get like a free meal on Christmas and a free meal on Thanksgiving. But it's also, I think, a big thing like when first starting the sport is like learning that when you have a free meal, you don't have to go like crazy. Like you don't have to eat everything in sight. You can kind of, I wouldn't say like you're not like restricting yourself. Like you have a free meal, eat as you would please, but you don't need to eat yourself sick and eat everything in sight. So that's definitely something that I've learned. Like in the beginning of bodybuilding, I felt like every time I had a free meal, it had to be like this crazy massive thing. But literally on Christmas, my free meal was like my parents made a charcuterie board and I like picked at it a little bit and I was like, all right, this is good. Like I'm full, I'm satisfied. I don't need to go crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is when you taste something real good, you just like it's like you like one thing I love is sweets. I love sweets. And I should be careful. I'm pre-diabetic, but I've been pretty good. But it's just when you taste it and you just something different. It's not dry chicken. It's not broccoli. It's just something with salt and meat and just I'm speaking as a fat man. That's what I'm speaking as. We have here from a man, LaRon Adams. He says, she's hot. Also, we got a comment from a man, where it says, "You got a cross around your neck. You love Jesus. Are you very religious person, or you're like very faithful?"
No, I'm not really a religious person.
You're just like a nice war cross. Okay, so that's okay. You good for you, warrior. This is from a man. Kaylee says, "One of you ever had a turkey burger?" Yeah, I had one. You ever had one?
Mm-hmm. I've had a turkey burger.
Yeah, it's a little dry compared to you have to really get it. So, folks, one thing I will ask her: are you sponsored? Because I know the thing is the cost of training in this. Are you a sponsored athlete?
I have I'm like an affiliate with a couple companies, but I don't have a sponsor now.
Yeah, I
So
know
everything is out of pocket.
Yeah, that's tough part, especially again for y'all ladies. Y'all, it's more expense for you. Not like I said, just counting the travel, the suits, the entry fees, your coach, the food. I mean, sponsorship does help, and some ladies can use that, which is to help offset the cost of And now you have to pay your pro card every year, and that's another cost, and you're not like in the amateurs anymore, but still you have to pay, that fee. But his thing is, I would like this. I think y'all ladies deserve the opportunity to get a sponsorship, but you gotta be careful, Kaylee. This guy's out here and it says you're cute, Kaylee. Yeah, we really like you. So if we do something for you, say no, stop that, stop that. You guys, you sick freaks. This is what you do. You say, Miss Walker, we are very interested in you. I know you're a coach. You're working in training and helping people, and we find your story about how you got into bodybuilding very, very interesting. So if you're interested in being part of our company, we have a brand that's very exclusive for we're competitors who like to work out and train, and also possibly in the future we'll gain a great relationship, in this partnership. So we ever be interested in being part of our company?
It depends on the company, but if it's a company that I align with, then I would say yes.
All right, ma'am. All right, we'll forget things. If things work out, then we have a good relationship. And we see each other in the future. This is what I think most definitely y'all ladies need, because it's tough. It's said again to be a woman in this sport. The time you have to put in, the sacrifice you have to make. I know friendships and relationships change because you get something that's not the typical when you look at it. It's not like any other sport. You look at like you play lacrosse, you played field hockey, you play other sports, but it's just something that's so different because it's so extreme. And like I said, you're changing the aspects of your body, especially the feminine part of it, because people don't often, especially women, don't have round cat shoulders, they're tapered in waist, they don't have this killer quads like y'all have. But because you love this. This is the thing is you have to really love this sport when you get into it.
No, if you don't love the sport, then like there's no way that you can continue. Like, no, if you did a season and you don't love it, there's no way that you can continue doing it or even make it through a full season. That's for sure.
Yeah, I guess it's a love. You have to have a love for this sport, especially it's not a lucrative, sport because again, you have to find ways to help with the costs. If you especially think about going to show because you think about going to Triple O, that's already in Arizona, or you're thinking about doing Pittsburgh, it's a little closer, for you to do that show, or just quite some other shows like you did Tampa, and there's also I think we figure there's more opportunities for y'all compared to like physique or bodybuilding. But instead again, if you really love it, and even though there's no real money in it, the reward is be on the stage, get the opportunity, and also, like I said, you were just close to the top 5 with Leah, and that's something. You bounced back from one show and came back. We were 15th, then you were in the top 10, and you were rubbing elbows with some Olympia qualified characters.
I mean, I was on stage with Jessica, so.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself because most people say, I didn't do that well, but like that, it's just like this a process. And if you get there, I say, hey, I'm somebody who told me say they love the fact they got in the top 10, especially at the Olympia or just any other show.
I made first call out of Texas, and that was like, I just wanted to do better than 15th place. So being top first call out at Texas was like crazy. Like that was beyond my expectation of what was going to happen. And my expectation of this year is to hopefully place higher than I did last year. Obviously everyone that steps on stage in the IFBB Pro League wants to go to the Olympia, but I definitely would be happy with, even if I got 5th place this year, that's 1 place higher than I got last year. And I'd be extremely happy with that. And I'm just happy to be like, I was just saying this to someone, I hired a posing coach this year, and I just am happy to step on stage feeling so much more confident in myself. Like that alone is a win. So
who's your posing coach?
I hired Team Lino Posing out of Canada.
I usually most time I hear like one guy's really popular is Kaylee Wallach. I often hear about him, and I know a lady who's a friend of mine, Jean Mikowski. And there's also Autumn Cleveland. I mean, it's this great opportunities you're working with, and I think whoever you're working with now, this company working now, I think it's a good match for you, and they figure out things that help you to get to that next level, to get you in that first call out, top 3, or even Olympic qualification.
Hope so.
Yeah, we have here a few comments from our man Rush G. Says just checked out Kayla's IG. Wow, amazing! Hey, I think you just got a new subscriber. Also this is from our man KL. What about Bad Rap? She could be sponsored by them. I don't know. Well, Eunice is a good friend of mine. She runs Bad Rap. That is a company that is big. And Rip is Big Bad Rip and Define. It's a new company that started coming out, and my lady little friend with her name's Eunice. I'll send you links, you check her out. She's looking to sponsor competitors because the one get opportunity for ladies, especially in the bodybuilding world. Also, this is from this is from KL. He says, this is from my man Rush G. KL. Thanks for plugging KL. Appreciate it. He says, and also KL says, yeah, make some pictures with Russ G. And Russ is in South Carolina. He's in Charleston. And if you ever
Charleston's my favorite place in the whole world. I love Charleston.
Yeah. I'm just a good ways from Charleston. There's also the Charlotte Pro. I mean,
I didn't see that on the schedule this year. I want Charlotte Pro is a show that I really wanted. So this year when I decided, my grandfather was in the hospital because I was on the fence if I wanted to compete 2025 or not, or take it off and go for 2026 and really like push a hard growing season. But my grandfather was in the hospital. He's not doing like the best right now. And he's from North Carolina. And he was just like bragging to all of like the nurses about how I was like the best bodybuilder and like all this stuff. And we were just like having a conversation, and he really inspired me to like want to compete this season. So the goal was to do the Charlotte Pro because he's from North Carolina. And I didn't see it on the schedule this year, else I probably would have done that one.
Well, man, being from North Carolina, it's a great state. Some aspects not that perfect, but it's still a great state. I've been lived here most of my life, and and I think I don't like think I think they might have I don't know because they don't have women's bodybuilding with physique, so I didn't look at the figure list too much. So they might have added on later because sometimes they usually wait maybe right after nationals before you update the list because I know they added
Yeah.
women's bodybuilding to Tupelo in Texas. And then I think you still hadn't put the Olympia up yet. The Masters Olympia, they changed that. That's going to be the first week of August because I know a lady who's competing there. Some quite a few ladies I know are competing that show. But yeah,
Mhm.
it's but we wish you best of luck. Here we got here for my man Russ says, say no more LL. Well need to have to link up Kaylee. If you are interested, add me on IG. Thank you. Brother, he says, also, I would love you with you and more FBB pros, IFB pros. Yeah, he likes to work with more IFB pros. So, folks, we're not going to hold him much too longer. She's looking at the clock. She's a busy lady. She has to coach. So, one thing I'm asking you, what would you want for your future out of bodybuilding?
I don't know. I just want to keep improving and keep beating my personal package. I want to inspire, like I said, more people in my community and in general to try bodybuilding if they're interested, or just like take up space in the gym. Because I love coaching women. I don't just coach bodybuilding, so yeah, I don't know. Just keep beating my personal self and being the best that I possibly can be. So.
Well, that's how you can be. Just be the best person you can be. Just keep going, keep pushing. Just really inspire. You can inspire other people who might be interested in this. You never know. You might be somebody out there who say, you know what, I don't know if I want to do this. And they see someone like you say, you know what, if she can do it, I can do it. Like I said, it's not easy. If everybody can do like the great Lauren Coleman says, everybody wants to be a bodybuilder, they don't want to lift his heavy ass weight. But if you're determined enough and you most definitely want to get there and get that next level, then yeah. So we said this is from we got a couple more. We got a man KD. He's from Greece. He says Kaylee, hi from Greece, and also he says wish see you in Greece soon, gorgeous. I tell you again, yeah, Kaylee, like these guys out here, they just go crazy over you girls. So we'll let you go. We appreciate your time. You have anybody you want to shout out?
Oh gosh. Let's give a shout out to my coach. If they're like, if there's anyone watching that's a bodybuilder looking for a coach, Andrew's great. Not really though. Thank you for your time. Thank you for interviewing me and having me on. Yeah.
Well, I would say well wishes to your granddad. I mean, I can tell you, I've been through it. My mom, she was sick, and I saw her, going through it. It's tough, but my heart goes out to him and your family. I do appreciate the time you're giving me. Much respect to your passion. Best of luck to your future. I mean,
Thank
we
you.
most definitely, really need young ladies like yourself who keep the sport going. It's you youth, you young bucks, you young whippersnappers who really, really, put in your heart into this. And you know what? Someday, and most definitely, I feel like you might be on the Olympia stage. Most definitely, I feel like this.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right. So I appreciate everybody who's here. My man KL the Wanderer, my man Russ G, KD, Warrior 2000, LaRon Adams, also my man Balls Deep. And thank y'all for coming through here. Share, comment, subscribe. If you want to follow Kaylee, her links are in the description of this live. Check her out, support her. You know my rules, guys. You know my rules. Oh, yeah, Kaylee, before I let you go, he has to say something. He says this. He says, Kaylee, I want to tell you something. You are beautiful. I'm sorry about him. I have to see specials about him. I mean, I just, but I told you I was crazy. So, folks, I appreciate y'all coming through. Thank you for your time. I'd like to thank the lovely Miss Kaylee Walker for coming through here. Best of luck to her in her future. Hope we do see her, at a show, be it Texas, Tampa, Triple O, whatever. We wish her all the best in the future in this sport of bodybuilding. And this is me, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good afternoon, good luck, and enjoy the cold. I'm not.